All right, everybody, welcome back to another session of Rubbin' Dirt. 21 episodes now. We're here today with our number 9 nationally ranked driver for the USRA Modifieds, Chris. Um, Now, 10 feature wins, you know, obviously great year for you. Uh, 10 wins is a lot for, going out there and racing on the weekends. So, for those that don't know too much about you, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, we just try to race around home, and we ran the ARM series this year. Just work comes first, so we don't get to do much traveling. So when we do get to, it's pretty fun.
Now,
But
why did you choose modifieds out of everything out there?
that's just where I started out, was modifieds. So I just kind of always ran them, and to me, it's we run a little bit of late models and stock car stuff, and modifieds just seem to be the funnest to drive.
Well, certainly, I mean, you're good at it. You finished in the top 10 this year. So, 10 feature wins, that's a lot to take in over it. Now, how did you get into dirt track racing?
My dad and grandpa have done it, so I just kind of grew up around it, and that's kind of how we done it. Started doing it anyways, was because of them.
Wow. Obviously, this rule could apply, it could not, as far as the rules and the point structures going for how the USRA does things, do you feel as though it makes for the best competition out there, or is there some other things that you'd like to see done differently?
Yeah, I think it works out good. Like, I think looking at it, I only got to run 21 races, and the guy that won it ran 51. So, yeah, they got an advantage being able to race more up north than we do down in south. We only had the Arms series to run, and maybe a few local races, but and overall, I think it's fair. Just whoever gets to run the most races, I think, has got an advantage on it.
Well, obviously, that plays a big factor into it. Getting to choose between more of those 20 nights that they get to run. If they run more, they get to definitely have a broader range of choosing what nights to go into their points.
Yeah, and like down south, we only get to race one night a week, so there's no Friday night tracks at USRA sanctioned or nothing like that. So that's kind of tough.
Is there a couple drivers down south that are trying to get more tracks to be USRA sanctioned, so you guys could do something more like that?
I think so. I think they're trying to change too much rules in the other classes that's going to affect our area racing. So I'm not so sure it's going to happen. But
it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it would be nice, but again, these guys work hard, and they got their money and they got their class, and they shouldn't have to rebuild a race car just to go sanction.
Of course. Now, I do want to clear the air on this. In no way, shape, or form are we going to ask a question that puts, anybody in a bad light.
Yeah.
But if you had to say out of everybody you get to race against, gives you a stronger drive, or more of a better competitor, or say even like your rival out there, who would that man or woman be on the track?
I think the whole ARMS series is puts that you got to go out there and win because there's so many good drivers in it. You got Joe Duval, Tristan Dacus, the Gaddises, that Chris Dawson. There's a list of them. I know I'm forgetting a bunch of them, but I think running with them guys makes it tough. Dillard ran with us some this year. I would say racing against all of them kind of puts you in that situation.
Most certainly. Now, I know you finished ninth in the national points, but does it feel a good accomplishment to know that you still did end up finishing, second for the Southern Region Modifieds?
Yeah, I really didn't keep up with none of it until the last of it. My wife was like, "You end up second and then ninth in that," which we just race when we can. It don't matter if we run for 20th or first in it. We just go have fun and see what happens, really.
So it's not really all about the points race for you trying to take home the national championship?
No, at the end of the day, I know I got a job and wife and kids at home, and that's more important than doing what we like doing for fun. So it would be nice to do it, but at the same time, responsibilities come first. So
of course they do. Now, next question for you. I know there's not a whole lot of tracks that are USRA sanctioned down there for you, but is there a track out there that you get to race that you kind of consider your favorite? And if there is, why is that your favorite?
Probably Arklatex, because it's probably 30 minutes from the house, and we just ran a lot of laps there. So that just makes it easier, and it's a good track. So I would say that's probably my favorite.
You are not the first person to say that is their favorite track. So
yeah,
I really got to get a hold of them now too. I'm trying to get a hold of Deer Creek because there's like a slew of people out there that just hands down say Deer Creek. As soon as I ask that question.
We've been there one time, and it's a lot like Arklatex. They're a lot alike. So yeah, I would say that's up there too on mine.
Now, this is kind of got a long list of people probably involved in it. Because in my opinion, I think modifieds and the late models together, those are the two classes that you definitely hear a ton of sponsorships for. But who would you say your biggest supporter is throughout the racing year?
Genuine RV, Donnie Powers. Like he's if we need something, he tells us to get it. So he's a lot of help. He helps out on other stuff and heads us in the right direction. Okay.
So now, looking at how next year is coming up, I know we got a long off season to go, but racing is really kind of like a 365 ordeal. You got to constantly be thinking of how to do things better. How can the car get better? How can you race the track a little bit better? But is there something next year you would like to really accomplish that you didn't this year?
Yeah, we'll probably try to race a little more. Just select like the bigger races to go to, and try that mostly next year instead of running every Saturday night. Just kind of pick and choose when we can race and where we're at.
Yeah, it sounded like I heard something sharpening in the background, so I hope that's not your wife sharpening something in the background going, he's saying what over there?
No, we actually do pipeline safety OQs, and we're building a pipeline to go in our the back of our building to kind of do training on. So.
Oh, okay. So that makes a little bit of sense. The noises I'm hearing.
Yeah, it's better than the wife sharpening something.
Definitely. Not saying that there would be an accident, just saying that if we don't hear from you here in the next couple weeks or months, we might want to start calling some people.
Yeah.
Obviously we're joking. Now, if there wasn't an issue for, time or sponsorship, anything like that, what would be a car that you would love to run?
As far as classes, or
Anything, classes, just specifically anything out there that is involved with racing.
I say the modifieds. I mean, I drove the other ones and I have more fun in it, and it's just they're fun to drive and all that stuff.
So you're kind of living out where you'd like to stay at.
Yeah, I mean it's that's probably the funnest class that I ran.
Now, with the experience you've gained, the year previous and this year for racing, do you think moving on next year you could topple Carl McDade for the Southern Region Championship?
It just depends on how many races that we can run. I still think we're going to only get about 20 shows in again this year. So,
Well,
I mean,
you didn't finish far behind him in your points, so I'd like to see you try to get up there, kind of give you a little boost on running for it, at least from my side of things. I always want to push for some better competition and kind of give somebody, if they don't have an idea of something to shoot for, give them a little bit of something to try to shoot for it.
yeah, I mean, it does. It makes it more interesting for guys like you to see stuff like that, and if we had probably a Friday night track, it would make it a little bit easier. And you'd probably pay more attention to it if you could run more.
I mean, I definitely pay attention to every aspect of that's going on. I know I don't get to travel out to the tracks as much as I would, but my goal for, going into next year is hopefully I can make it around to some places and meet some of you drivers that I've gotten the chance to interview and in person. That way I'm not just the guy over the phone that calls you and does this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I can't
You'll
make
definitely have to get down the Arklatex.
Yeah, I definitely can't make any promises, but that is what the next goal is for me, is to actually get down there and kind of see everybody and get back into the pits and kind of feel for how you guys are in the pits as well. I know it's a very busy, hectic place back there. The reason why I say I know that a little bit is because somebody I've been a long time supporter is Tyler Hibner, and he runs in the same modifieds as you. So that's why I said I'm a little biased, so I have to be upfront with people before I interview any kind of modified driver. I am really biased as far as, who I root for in this class, and I'm slowly developing some favorites. I'm not going to lie, over the course of getting to do these interviews with some people and hearing the stories and stuff that get told. I don't yet think I have a dog in the fight for the medieval stock, and I don't have a fight for the B mods. I wish Joe would quit ignoring me. I'm going to throw him out there. But, there's people all over the place, and I love talking to different drivers and getting a feel for them. Definitely. And I'm looking forward to seeing how a particular individual, I'm not going to say what he told me his big plan is. I would prefer people to go out and listen to his interview. Grayson Wooten told us in his interview where he plans on going to next, and kind of taking a back seat to his division that he just ran this year, that being the tuners. So,
Yeah.
Now, I guess my next question for you is there anything that you and your family go out there and do on the race weekend that if you didn't do it, it wouldn't feel like it was really a race weekend?
Well, my son's starting to race, so that's and my daughter, they used to not ever go, and now they're asking when we're going racing. They want to go, so it's getting more interesting with my son racing and everybody wanting to go now.
So now, what class is your son racing in?
He was running stock cars, and he ran that this year, and we bought him a limited, but I think we're going to change that route again this year. He might end up in a modified next year. So
running against you and racing against you?
Yeah, and I got to race against him in the stock cars some this year, and he never beat me, but he was close a couple of times. So there's a lot of trash talking.
So when that happens, are you gonna paint your numbers white and give your car a black sleek look and remind him every now and again who's in his rear view pushing him?
Yeah, he likes talking trash to me. So the first day he beats me, I think it's gonna be a rough week at the house.
You know what? I would love to hear from his perspective on that.
He's out qualified me some in the big stock car shows, but it's pretty fun. I think he raced 15 times this year, and he's got a couple of thirds and stuff. So he does pretty good.
Well, obviously, if it's all right with you, Dad, we'd love to have him on here as well. Kind of get his perspective of it. Does he really talk that much trash to you?
Oh, yes. He's a respectful kid and don't talk it to nobody else, but once we get behind closed doors, he talks it, so.
Oh, of course. I think that's every kid when they start growing up. They won't say it out in public because they know that that's extremely disrespectful and get popped every now and again for doing it. But behind closed doors is a different story.
Yeah, it's game on then.
Then it's game on as long as it's all in good fun. But now,
Yeah.
The most loaded question I think I possibly have for a lot of our drivers is, what racing means the most to you in your life?
It's just something to do. If you're sitting at home during the winter, we like hunting, but it don't last very long. So you're bored, and it gives you something to do and hang out with family and friends, and that's the main thing is just going and having fun. And I guess when you stress over it, you put too much pressure on you. It ain't no fun. So we just go to have fun, basically.
Of course, that's something I enjoyed doing was getting to go hunting. Unfortunately, I'm not able to make it out there as often as I'd like. So I'm really gearing up for the next race season, getting to hear from you guys. And hopefully I'm going to stay in contact with a lot of these drivers that I've gotten to do interviews with and kind of see next year how their season's playing out and falling out for everybody. And thank you for your time. Is there anybody you would like to say thank you to that you might have forgotten before you go?
This is my wife and kids, and all the sponsors that help me. You can't do it without them, as expensive as this stuff is. So, every one of them, it don't matter what they do for you, it helps. So, I like to thank all of them.
Well,
I guess let's get ready for next year.
Exactly. We'll be well prepared to try to keep up with you and all other 50 people that I'm going to be reaching out to here in the modified class. If you know anybody out there that is running around in a dirt track car that wants to talk about dirt track racing, send them my way.
Okay, I will, and I appreciate it.
Well, on behalf of us over here at Rubbin' Dirt and our partnership with Dubby, without them we couldn't do everything without them, and without guys like you running around out there and putting on great shows throughout the year for us, we couldn't be in the position we are today. And we just thank you guys, and don't forget to go out and support your local tracks, everybody, support your local drivers, and hopefully we'll have another great racing year. So thank you for your time.
All right, thanks.